Good morning to everyone. This is the power of healing with Ketelo Utabi. So as you've seen the topic today, I'm going to be focusing on the 4 dark spirits, the 4 common known dark spirits, right? But before I start, let me ngiyovusela nje kusalukazi esingitotobisayo, isalukazi esingiphethe, isalukazi esingazazisi, isalukazi esingaziphakamisi, isalukazi esimayidwayidwa, intombazane ebayingcolisa ngawo wonke amabala kodwa iphuma imhlophe njalo, inkosazana engazwani nomsindo, inkosazana engazwani nomsindo, inkosazana emhlophe, inkosazana enhle. Ngivusele kukhehla elingembethe, ikhehla elihamba lifike emzini wendoda, lingene bese liletha ukuthula. Ikhehla elinesibindi or ikhehla lesibindi, ikhehla laseyintabeni, ikhehla elithi lapho selingenile bese kuba nomphumela. Ikhehla elinobulungiswa, isiZulu, ikhehla elinobulungiswa. Ikhehla lingiphethe lelo, insizwa yesihlabelelo. Ngibingelele ithunywa zamakhosi namabutho elanga, bingelele ithunywa zamakhosi namabutho enyanga, ngibingelele abalozi, ngibingelele amanono, ngibingelele zonke ithunywa ezingisingathile in all 7 dimensions. Ngiyanibingelela abazali bami, ngiyanhlonipha kakhulu. Today ngibingelele isithunywa sendalo, ngibingelele isithunywa sendalo abaphathi bomhlabathi, guys, abaphathi bomhlabathi abazi konke emhlabathini esihamba kuwo. Ngiyanibingelela ke bazali bami, ngiyanhlonipha kakhulu. So now that I'm done with that, this morning I posted and I said, please give me permission, or I request permission to break just a bit, just for 3 minutes. I mean, give me that opportunity to break. And before I break, guys, the one or the most wonderful thing, or let me just rephrase that and say, there's one thing, not even one thing, the most thing I love, words are just, I don't know, the most thing that I love about Inzuza, and it's when and about Inzuza, when it instills knowledge and wisdom to you, that 5 minutes that you get of formal training, because with Inzuza everything is formal training, it does not deviate from the subject at hand or the topic that it's teaching you at hand. It is forever focused when it teaches you. It's 5 minutes, guys. We always get more or less 5 minutes of the training in something. But the most wonderful thing about it is that after that knowledge has been instilled in you and you are taught, the feeling, because with Inzuza, every knowledge, every learning goes with feeling. And the feeling that is accompanied by it, guys, the feeling of accomplishment, that is and growth that is accompanied by the knowledge is amazing. And I don't know if other people who were chosen or are chosen by the Spirit get to experience what I experience. And that it's yes, it is accomplishment, but there is absolutely no way to explain the feeling that you get. And that is, for me, the most wonderful part and the most interesting part about it. Now, me bragging now. So for decades, right, I don't think it was ever thought that one day a person, so for decades, people with albinism were undermined and seen as useless and nothing, and they wouldn't give anything to the world, or they wouldn't help you in any way. And for me, it is amazing that Ungoweketelo with albinism is now chosen to give light and healing to the people. So God, I just want to say this, and this is my bragging moment, because God is amazing. And guys, if you knew the God I know, you'd be blessed. Mina, I am my father's daughter. I am the daughter of the Most High, and I don't take advantage of that, because even with that comes certain responsibilities, and even with that comes a lot of humbleness. So yeah, that was my bragging moment. I just love the God for Him to unlock the mysteries of the universe through me, or to me. As I said, if you knew my Father. So allow yourself to see the world as I see it, or use my eyes to see the world as I see it. Your life will change. I spoke about the 2023 game changer, and for me to be given that opportunity to give you the light of opportunity to make 2023 your game changer, but provided you follow through with me. Provided you follow through with me, and provided you see life through my eyes, then you are definitely going to see change. So that was my bragging moment. I don't brag kakhulu ne, hopefully. With all that being said, guys, so I always say ngiwunompilo, ngiwukhanya. And most of you don't know that is actually my affirmation. So when I started my initial self-initiation, I was given a bag of tools. And in this bag, you get things like affirmations, you get things like, basically the bag is full of a lot of things about wisdom. You get tools of how to see things. So this bag, when I was presented with it, the first thing that was in that bag was affirmations. You need to affirm to yourself into light and progress. So as I say, ngiwukhanya, ngiwunompilo, or ngiwunompilo, ngiwukhanya, I am a radiant being, filled of healing and light. I am a radiant being filled of healing and light, and that is my affirmation every day. Affirm life into your life, or affirm light into your life. Anyways, now with all that being said, guys, now this is my last message, guys, and I felt that I needed to include this last message into this video because I don't know. So for a physical being to get an opportunity or to get mysteries of the universe unveiled to them and or unlocked to them, guys, initially for a physical being, you know too much, and in some point you don't have a lot of time on this physical realm. Once the universe unlocks its mysteries to you, it's only a few that get a long time. For the past 2 weeks, I've been having a feeling that my story is not gonna be different. Instead, in fact, for the past 2 weeks, I've been getting the feeling that my clock is actually ticking. But I welcome that feeling, guys, because we know that we are just visitors. I'm not of this dimension. I know that. I could be the last of my generation. I know that. But I just wanted to say to you guys that for some of you to have crossed my path and met me and engaged with me is a privilege. And we don't know how long we've got, but we know we've got a certain period that we're given. So I just wanted to share that with you guys, and that I don't want to scare you, but because I'm not scared, but I just wanted to share that last message with you. Anyways, back to business now. Back to the 4 dark spirits. The Isichitho, the dark curse, Isinyama, the spirit of mourning, Isdina, the spirit of annoyance, and then Ithunzi, shadows, or a dark spirit of an animal. Those we talk about. Those are the 4 that I'm going to touch on. And hopefully technology does not interrupt, or technology hopefully it doesn't disappoint us, because whenever you talk about certain spirits, you must know that things happen. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if I have to record a second video. But again, then let's start with Isichitho. Oh, before we start with Isichitho, spirits, guys, are evoked. Spirits and deities are evoked in most cases, or spoken to life. Into esiyikhulumayo ngomlomo wethu is very powerful. That it gets something spoken to life, or it gives life to a certain spirit. Okay, so a lot of people don't know that you speak a spirit into existence in your life. You speak a bad omen into existence in your life, because a bad omen is caused by spirits. And when you get a bad omen or a bad luck, usually could be because of you, or it was done to you, or you spoke life, or you spoke existence into that spirit. I'll get to that. So let's talk about Isichitho. Let's talk about the dark curse. So Isichitho, most time, guys, it's a dark curse of poop, because whenever there is that spirit around you, you can smell it, right? You get a bad smell, like sort of like amakaka poop, sort of like rotten things, but it's not a pleasant smell. It's not a nice smell. So it's always accompanied by the smell. Isichitho. Hence, I think I did a video a few months ago, and I said how to identify that Isichitho has been used on you. So with Isichitho, it's always spoken life into. It's two types. It can either be spoken life into through a deity, or it can be mixed. Okay, certain things, substances can be mixed and brought into your yard. So that is why I say Isichitho, all Isichitho. When Isichitho, or when Isichitho, you will always smell it. You will have this passing smell of something nasty, something rotten, some amagaga, and mostly of the time it's poop basically. But you smell it. And Isichitho, guys, for a deity for a deity to evoke that spirit, or for to evoke that spirit or a deity, there's a certain ceremony of worship that is done for that spirit to be evoked or that spirit to be awakened. So usually that people who worship deities, they perform a certain ritual or a certain ceremony of worship that would bring Isichitho to your life. And in most cases, it is created to delay or delay progress, to destroy your success or your life, basically your relationships, your friendships. What did I say? Okay. And as it delays things in your life, guys, then it becomes a bad omen to you. As it's evoked and spoken life into, then it becomes a bad omen to you, and then you start feeling, because Isichitho you always feel. You start feeling at some point in your life, you get a feeling things are really not okay, because it always gives you feeling. With negative or dark spirits, guys, you always get the feeling that something is wrong. And if you avoid that intuition, then you are in trouble. Because if you get a series of events happening, of bad events, or a series of things just like ziphelelwe emoyeni, there's something is wrong somewhere, right? So that comes with a smell. Isichitho comes with a smell. Isichitho comes with a feeling. So as other dark spirits. Okay, so this is the first one. I said Isichitho is a dark curse laid upon you, your life, your generations, which is your kids, or spoken into existence. So even with the deity, as it is spoken to, or as that there's this engagement with the deity, because people in their houses, guys, have deities, and people worship deities, and unfortunately some of them don't even know that a deity can actually be evoked into life and work. And there's a reason why you shouldn't have certain things in your life that you worship. But I'm not going to tell you or if I should give you an example, people have dolls in their houses that they speak to all the time. and they tell these dolls things all the time. You are actually evoking this deity into life, because it becomes a deity, because now you worship it so much that now it becomes alive in spirit. But let's not get into that one. I'll teach you another day, another time. So, Isichitho, guys, these 4 spirits, the dark spirits that I've mentioned, have a very, very close relationship with each other. So, each might be accompanied by 3 or 2 of the other spirits. So, if uzoba nesichitho, it is most likely that you would also have Isdina. Okay? Now, Isinyama. Now, this one is a spirit of mourning. Umuntu. So when you lose a loved one, or a parent or a child, a close relative, so but usually a parent, a child, a sibling, okay, and you don't cleanse, eventually you've evoked the spirit of mourning, because uhamba nayo lobumnyama bokuhanjelwa umuntu. Uhamba, you live with the spirit of mourning that was never healed from you. And this, you know, when these things are explained to me, sometimes I'm like, wow, how did I never think of this or know this? Now, the spirit of mourning, guys, can be created in so many ways. A person is meant to heal. When you lose a loved one, a person, according to God's plan, a person is meant to heal in a certain stage of their life, or after a certain time. Okay? So, if the healing process, if the mourning is not cleansed, then it delays the healing process, because pain and grief, guys, without cleansing, evokes the spirit of mourning. Pain and grief, without being cleansed at a certain stage, evokes the spirit of mourning, which stays with you for a long time. It can be years, because you have not healed from this stage of your life. That means kukhona into engasuswanga kuwe. If you notice, once you do a cleansing or umsebenzi wokugeza ekhaya, the pain actually gets easier, or the pain is lessened, because you have performed a certain ceremony that releases some sort of healing in your body. And that only that phase, guys, it's only through healing and through cleansing and God that you would get to that stage. Otherwise, no matter how many years and how many people die, when you don't cleanse, it's ubumnyama no isinyama to isinyama. As long as you haven't cleansed, labantu abazohamba following, or the people that are going to pass on or die following the first death that you were not cleansed in, it's going to be a build-up. So already you've got this spirit of mourning surrounding you. That's the spirit of mourning, guys. That is Isinyama. Isdina. Now, this one is very interesting. Isdina, guys, the spirit of annoyance is actually created by you. Isdina uzenzela wena sona. You've evoked the spirit into your life, or you've evoked the spirit into existence. Okay? Why do I say this? What you eat, what you put into your body, what you eat can be harmful to you. What you say to other people, the attitude, the arrogance, the self-centeredness, self-absorbed. It's all about you. So initially it builds an ego that might become or might evoke the spirit of annoyance in other people. So eventually, and this happens when people always, because as you are self-centered and arrogant, then you become a slave of lies. So you become enslaved in your own world, which then creates a spirit of annoyance ebantwini, because Isdina is created whenever you see this person, you're like, nanglo. Then the spirit is actually evoked, and you move around with it. So what you eat is important, because as you eat those things, I remember I made a video, and then I made an example about a peanut butter and how spirits love a peanut butter. So now, if you feed the spirit that is now evoked within you, or that is now awakened within you, or inside you, now you feed the spirit with what you eat. Okay? Now with Isdina, in most cases, you would get that you've got this, it's not rash, and it's not pimples as well, but it's like those funny, sort of like funny pimples, funny rash man that you get in your face and some parts of your face, and then also with sweat. So you would actually, how do you identify it as well? That rash itself and the sweat that you get, because most of the time you develop an odor or a smell, let's say an odor or a smell in your sweat. So as I said, Isdina is caused by you and is brought into existence by you. The power of words, guys, the power of what we say. I said spirits are spoken into existence because of what we say. Okay? How we act on other people. Okay? Because when you say things to people, sometimes mean things, hurtful things, nasty things, the pain that the person is going to actually feel feeds the spirit that you will have. Because when you speak words into other people, or when you say things to people, they pray about it, and already you are in danger of evoking that spirit. They pray about it, and now that prayer feeds the spirit of annoyance that you're going to have. So ego, guys, and unnecessary attention, you really need to be careful of it. There are times that you act, and that act initially becomes Isdina. The way you act, what you say, initially becomes Isdina. And even if we're watching you anyway, or sigbona emaphepeni, sigbona TV, sigbona kuphi, Isdina leso comes first. We see it. Go away. I don't care whether you are a healer, you know things. You are a doctor, you are a nurse, a professional medic. Isdina siyahlala to everyone, or in everyone. Isdina siyahlala. You can work with people for so many years, and yet you're carrying the spirit of annoyance, and you don't even see it. And it takes another person to see that you've got it. Siyahlala, guys. Because you've evoked it. So you've actually given the spirit the power to exist. And Isinyama can actually Isinyama singavela. Isinyama, okay, sorry. So Isinyama can cause Isdina also. Isinyama can be Isdina. Because all these things cause a bad omen or bad luck. So Isinyama can become Isdina. Okay? Isichitho can actually cause Isdina. Okay. Looking down on others, as I've mentioned before, like you look down on others, you say mean things to others, that can evoke the spirit. So this spirit actually becomes a spirit within yourself. It is born within yourself. Because you feed it every day, every minute, every hour. You get to feed the spirit. So it is evoked into existence. Ne? So you need to be careful of some of the things that as is velayo emzimbeni, that actually that have a certain smell or scent. Because some of the things, guys, as I said, intuition will tell you that this is not normal, this is spiritual. Okay? And then we come to the last one, which is Ithunzi. The shadow that people carry as they go up and down. People carry shadows, guys. Sometimes when I have a consultation, I would say to someone, change a position or indawo ohleli kuyo so that I see you, because I'm not supposed to see a shadow when I look at a person. Because there are times when umuntu angena and you actually see this shadow. So the shadow actually blocks your natural being, or it blocks your spiritual being. So sometimes you are not blocked. Sometimes you're just going about with a shadow surrounding you. And the shadow is always present. Now, also with this shadow, it is either caused by means of deities, and even with this Ithunzi, there is a certain ceremony of worship that has to be done to a deity, so that it brings to life Ithunzi ozohamba. And in most cases now so I said with Isichitho, poop will always be used, or amagaga will always be used. Now with Ithunzi, a spirit of an animal, or a blood or flesh of an animal, of a certain animal, is going to be used to perform the ceremony of worship to the deity, so that this spirit may come to life. Okay? So this spirit of an animal is usually a bad spirit of an animal. Because you also have to understand, now I'm going to be talking about cats. The reason of a cat in human life, or in spiritual explanations. A cat, guys, and we don't dream about cats, right? You'll never hear somebody saying "Yazing puppy cat." Doesn't happen often. You'll never hear somebody say "Yazi, I dreamt of a cat." It's not an animal that comes through in our dreams as often as other animals like a dog. And there's a reason why. Cats, some animals are therapeutic animals. They provide therapy to our spirit. Okay? So that is why you get people that are so much in love with cats, have suffered from a certain ailment or an accident or trauma or shock. So when they are close to this cat, it actually brings therapy to this person. So a cat is seen as a therapeutic animal to some people. Now, if a cat, given the 9 lives, given this power of therapy to people, given the power of healing to people, if that cat is now used to evoke a deity, can you just imagine what it can do? I'm all about teaching, guys, ne? I'm all about teaching. So that is why we don't often dream of cats. A cat, guys, remember, a cat is an incarnated soul, or a cat incarnates itself all the time. So you must understand, or it's an incarnated animal, so you must understand that it has a special power of healing that when used, it can cause damage. So when used, it can actually cause Ithunzi or hambanalo all the time without knowing. Okay? Wet dreams. Wet dreams that we have. When I talk about wet dreams, I talk about you having intimacy with somebody in your dream, or you having sex with somebody in your dream. Wet dreams, guys, cause Ithunzi. Because the dream carries a sweat, it carries the exchange of body fluids that evokes a spirit into existence. So the person that you become intimate with, maybe a certain dark spirit within themselves, right? In their dream, or in most cases, where dreams, the dream that you have, there is a second party, but sometimes you get that you don't even see. You know that this is a wet dream. You know that I'm actually having intimacy or sex with somebody, but you don't see. That means there's a spirit that's actually engaging with you, but you don't see that spirit. Now, wet dreams bring that Ithunzi into existence, because as that exchange of feeling during the time of the dream, the change, that moment of excitement, the moment of the feelings, the emotions, can actually evoke the spirit into existence, or can actually evoke the spirit of Ithunzi into existence. Then you carry this, and that's when now people start taking Yasmin. That's you have a spiritual husband, Ithunzi, guys. Because it becomes part of you. Okay? Now, too many intimate partners. These partners, or that you come across and you are intimate with, they all have different body fluids, and they all come from different spiritual clans. And sometimes the same partners actually have dark spirits that they move with. Now we are fika kuwe. And when you were just this innocent spirit, you didn't even have any negative or dark spirit. We are fika kuwe. Remember, guys, exchange of fluid, and we always and this is why I was talking about body memory. Exchange of fluids, guys. Exchange of sweats. That is why I said sometimes you have to be careful who you give a handshake to, because body has memory. And now that I think there's one video about that as well. Now, that intimacy, that engagement with the person or people, because within that space, somewhere, somehow, some people even lost their partners. Their partners were deceased. It was just a week ago. I had this. I was intimate with this person, and all of a sudden, this person has passed on. I didn't even do any cleansing of some sort, and all of a sudden, now I get a new girlfriend, and I move with the girlfriend, and now we intimate with the girlfriend. There's so many things that can actually evoke that spirit into existence. So that is why I said some of the things we actually cause them ourselves, but we don't know. And this is where people like Utabi would come through and say, guys, listen, do a checkpoint. Let's not just say, isn't it hambagabi because abantu are jealous of me, or people hate me, or people this. Because in most cases, in most times, we are quick to point a finger, and yet the cause is us. So you've been going around with this thing for years, and you actually think some things were done. You did it. You caused the whole commotion in your life. You caused this you caused this spirit, or you actually evoked it into existence. I'm going to tell you from personal experience. I had a fling, if I should call it that. This guy came and we spent a night, and I'm sharing this information. Guys, the next morning after he left, or the second day after he left, my bed was full of bed bugs. Imbungulu. Okay, I don't know, is it bed bugs? Something like that. Imbungulu, guys. And removing those things. That's why I say you must be very careful. Cleansing of your bed and cleaning your place and changing of furniture is very important. And I think in what I spoke about, when I spoke about physical memory, I spoke about that. My bed was full of izimbungulu. Luckily, guys, because as I said, we have the gift of intuition. I knew something was wrong, and I knew the cause of it. So I attended to it immediately. And that was the last time I saw him, because that was the last time I wanted to speak to him. No, not that I don't want to speak to him, but there's a saying, let sleeping dogs lie, because I don't make other people's problems mine. You understand? Okay. Because sometimes people think they are smart and intelligent, kanti bahamba nezinto. Within that intelligence, within that nyadlala process, umuntu hamba nezinto ndakazi, so you let sleeping dogs lie. And I'm not a bad person, but mhlambe ngelinye ilanga ngizomvusa. So yeah, guys, these spirits, these dark spirits that I spoke about, guys, we must be very careful on how we do things and what is done. There are things that are done that are sent spiritually, and you cannot attend spiritual things. I'm going to repeat this. You cannot attend spiritual things with physical mentality or physical mindset. Some things are not about the soap. Some things are not about getting a soap and they just go away. Some things are spiritual. And as you carry that, because we all have different luggages that we carry. We have baggages, we have our luggages that we carry. And all our luggages, sometimes most of the luggage that gives you a heart and a headache is spiritual. Thank you so much, Bantwana Basekhaya. Thank you so much, guys. I love you. And please share, like, subscribe, turn off notification buttons. And I hope you've learned. And I hope you go back and do introspection of your life and yourself. And do a checkpoint and do a checklist and say, 4 spirits, let me see which one actually ticks in my list. But even with Ithunzi, guys, Ithunzi, because it's a deity, can actually be caused by Isichitho. And Ithunzi can actually be caused by Isinyama. Okay? So you must know, even if you have cats, you must know that these animals have a purpose in your life. But mostly, the positive about it is that they are healing animals. And as I've said, they work with trauma, shock, an accident that happened in your life that you can't heal from, or an ailment, a chronic illness that you might have. So sometimes it does not go away, and you get that, or sometimes the illness, guys, keeps you awake at night. So for you to get some sort of healing, and for you to see the difference, get a cat. Or have that just 1 hour moment with the cat. You'll thank me later. Depending on the kind that you get as well, hey? Yeah, thank you so much. So, okay, before I leave, the cat as a therapeutic animal will actually, you will get a feeling of which cat to engage with. Cats are not as seen or as bad as they are made out to be. And I think in black culture, that's the most common. They are not as bad as we make them out to be, but they're healers. As I said, love you.